Welcome to Philstocks Morning Brew
Where we look at the past,
and pick at the new,
know what's in,
and what's out,
which stocks to pick,
or which ones to keep. Avoid ipit!
Pleasant morning, Kaya.
Happy morning, JR!
A very good morning to all our listeners and followers.
And thank you for spending your hours with us in our second episode of your show, Philstocks Morning Brew.
Siguradong excited na naman tayo as we begin trades for the fourth and final quarter of the year.
Yes! Ang bilis talaga ng panahon, JR. Parang kailan lang we were just starting the year. Ngayon, madalas na nagpe-play ang mga Christmas songs.
That's true. And Christmas seems to have come early for investors too. Last week alone, the PSEI reset the all-time intraday record high 3 times.
Grabe! And of course, ang all-time high closing now stands at 8,294.14. The first breach of erstwhile record, which stood for over 2.5 years, was only a little further on the week prior to last. Madami siguro ang masaya ng weekend.
Malamak. Pakita natin yung table of gainers and losers last week, which we got from the PSE website weekly report. We took out those stocks with big price gains on small volume of transactions.
On top of the gainers list is RRHI. For obvious reason, pinalitan niya si EDC sa PSEI. Robinson's Retail Holdings plans to triple the number of supermarkets that ship web orders by 2018. Yung company plans na dumagdag ng 140 to 150 stores this year and will probably open another 140 in 2018 para masustain ang kanilang double-digit growth sa earnings.
At si EDC, in that respect, was the top loser for the week. Just an update, nag-going tender offer at 7.25 pesos after the tender reached the minimum required na 6.6 billion. Pero since lumampas ng 8.9 billion shares ang nakatender, the bidder will take only roughly 85% of shares tendered by each holder. The transaction was completed Friday kaya ang laki ng block sale for EDC.
Yes, yun din nagpalaki ng value at volume turnover ng market ng Friday. Pero ang net is around 8 billion pesos, which is above the averages pa din. And speaking of EDC, pinag-uusapan pa din yung option to delist. Right now, we have no clear picture on that except that is an option. Let us keep a close watch on this, JR. So, Energy Development Corporation had voluntary tender offer to acquire a minimum of 6.6 billion common shares to 8.9 billion common shares for FGen to reduce the public float. So, the public float from 49% to 11%. So, yung kailangan is 12% para sa company para makasama sa PSEI.
Tignan natin dito si FNI, which is a second top gainer at 6.08%. Last week, nag-disclose sila that their estimate mineral resource in the Cagayan Area 3 went up by 78% versus end of June 2016 levels. It now stands at 12.80 million metric tons.
And bukod dyan, it gave an update on its share buyback program. As of Friday, FNI has bought back over 249 million shares with total cost of 649.5 million.
Or an average of 2.60 peso per share.
That is a 6.7% discount to Friday's closing price of 2.79 pesos.
Sa chart, mukhang pwedeng buy itong FNI. Let's see from the time bumagsak FNI from 4.707 to 2.19 pesos mula November 2016 to January this year. Mahaba-haba na yung consolidation niya between 2.20 and 2.85. That's a 30% band with up and down cycles of between 1 to 3 months. Pwedeng pang range trade at the very least.
At pag nag-breakout pa yan from the 2.85 pesos resistance, possible technically to push towards 3.05 pesos initially and even further on to 3.28 an additional 15% off the breakout line. Hindi na masama.
Of course, though may risk din naman na involved. Last September 15, nag-disclose that the company received copies of resolution seeking the recall of its MPSA held by the Implan Nickel Corporation, particularly yung nasa Brooks Point project. Ongoing pa din itong legal challenge na to, so we have to be on alert.
Isa pa, JR. Although hindi kasama to sa list ng gainers and losers last week, isa naman ito sa bigger news that shocked investors. I am referring to PAL. So, yung PAL, meron siyang 8.91 billion na navigational charges sa government. Pero, 3.6 billion lang yung binayaran ni PAL. Si PAL nag-submit ng offer para sa CAAP through its Interagency Panel of Negotiators. Pero hindi siya nakakuha ng response. So si President Rodrigo Duterte sa kanyang speech nung nakaraang araw, sabi niya, he will shut down the Terminal 2 if the company will not pay in 10 days. So para i-compromise ang issue, PAL is willing to pay 4 billion in tranches of over 7 years. Tingnan naman natin what possible influences will move markets in the next 2 weeks, JR.
It actually starts Sunday, Kaya, with British Prime Minister Theresa May speaking on the Brexit strategy. Kasabay naman ito ang important Tankan numbers from Japan on manufacturing and non-manufacturing indices, plus the final manufacturing PMI. Wednesday this week will have the central banks, particularly the ECB and the US Federal Reserve, taking center stage. Both Draghi and Yellen deliver separate speeches, which everyone will listen to for clues kung saan papunta ang interest rates. Tapos, puro speeches ng members ng Federal Reserve like si Kaplan, Powell, Harper, and Dudley.
And of course, sa US ilalabas yung weekly unemployment claims and monthly employment data, factory data, and trade balance.
At dito naman sa atin, dalawa lang ang hinihintay natin na data. Yung Nikkei PH Manufacturing PMI, last month, nasa 50.6 siya. Anything above 50 indicates expansion. Lower than 50 naman indicates contraction. At isa pa, on Thursday, September inflation. Currently, nasa 3% year-to-date ang year-on-year change in consumer prices index.
Hintayin natin yan, JR. So, it is going to be another exciting week para sa index to set more new records. Mag-hold kaya ang support?
I think the bias remains positive for the market given the value flows are expanding, particularly as we came off the ghost month. Risks are still present as they always will be, where overall investors seem still positive in the prospects for equities.
I agree, JR. So before we close, uulitin lang namin ang mga seminar schedules for this month. Yung pong ating Stock Market 101, open to all. Thursdays of the month, October 5, 12, 19, and 26 at 6 p.m. Meron din Saturdays, October 14 and 28, twice of each those days at 10 a.m. and 3 p.m.
And yun namang Stock Market 201 or Fundamental and Technical Analysis, where we touch on the basic of stock selection and trading tools, will be on October 21, a Saturday at 10 a.m. And sa hapon naman, we have essential components of trading, kung saan i-discuss natin ang position sizing and market psychology at 1 p.m. Ito po ay exclusive for Philstocks clients.
So to register, just visit our website at www.philstocks.ph and then yung link that will direct you to the registration forms. We hope to see you there.
You can also follow us at Facebook and Twitter, or you can email us your concerns at info@philstocks.ph. On that note, kailangan na namin magpaalam.
At syempre, magpasalamat sa inyo for listening in. By the way, watch out for the launch of our Facebook Live version of Morning Brew. It will be out soon. So until the next episode in a fortnight, this has been your host, Kaya
And JR, leaving you our best thoughts for the next 2 weeks.
Happy trading!